Recently, you may have noticed an uptick in the amount of negative videos towards the game of Valorant, suggesting Valorant is on its downfall. Well, I don't necessarily think Valorant will go away anytime soon. It does have a few core issues at the moment that will cause the game to get stale. So what are these issues? Why do they need to be changed? And will Riot do anything about it? Let's start with the least controversial topic. I've seen a lot of complaints about Valorant's current meta being quite boring. The addition of Taeho and the rise of Vise in the meta has made it quite tiresome. Getting bombarded with utility and having to bait the Vise wall every round is not really a great time. Here's what Ten has to say about the current state of the game.
This round right here, this is, by the way, if I was still a pro player, I knew this was coming. That's also why I'm out. But, bro, do you know what happens to a pro player when they're playing this game? This right here. Bro, you see that? Power Rangers, bro. But you look at their comp, and they're like, they have so much they can throw at you, and they also have Tail ult. So this is normally like, if they want the site, they're going to take the site. There's nothing you can do to stop them from taking the site. So you might as well fall back, play retake, and play numbers retaking. How do you counter it? That's the only way you can do that. And so one of the things about that,
having to play retake constantly just doesn't feel rewarding as a game choice. Okay, so Taeho is currently dominating meta. The main problem with Taeho is its low skill ceiling. The drone is pretty simple to use. The stun is strong against contact plays, but mainly the rockets are just click and place. No time spent workshopping, no practice, no lineups, making Taeho on post plants a little too strong. Not to mention that the rockets also restock after 40 seconds. I'm sure the devs already know the issues with Taeho and are on the case to improve him. How about the new agent Waylay? Do they improve upon the meta? On paper, the agent seems fun and adds a different dynamic to the game. For a long time, Raze, Jett and Neon were the only duelists that add an explosive dive playstyle. So how about Waylay? Let's take a look at Waylay's 4 main abilities, and do they provide a suitable kit to be used for this dive playstyle? Saturate is an instant cast projectile that is thrown and lands as a sphere. This will slow all players' actions for 4 seconds that are caught in it, ultimately acting as a stun. Lightspeed is Waylay's movement ability. Either dash up and forward, or just forward. Refract allows you to place a temporary anchor on the floor that lasts 8 seconds. Within the 8 seconds, you can teleport back to where the anchor is placed. After 2 kills, get the ability to place another anchor. Convergent paths cause you to wind up for 2 seconds, then fire a large AoE that will hinder anyone caught in it for 7 seconds. Currently in ranked, Waylay has a pick rate of 2.3%, the lowest of any duelist. Even though they are quite a fun agent to play, due to the current meta, comfortability and possibly people not understanding how to get the best use out of them, they don't have a very high pick rate. In pro play in the last 90 days, Waylay has seen a 3.1% pick rate, a little higher than ranked and higher than one other duelist, Phoenix. However, compared to Raze and Jett, Waylay is miles behind, with Raze having 32% pick rate and Jett having 31% pick rate. So it's safe to say Waylay is not currently fighting for contention with Jett and Raze's spot, and I don't know if an agent will ever. Okay, so before you start typing in the comments, what does this mean? Well, let me show you.
Look at this chat! Let's rush the bomb site. Blue wall, raining smoke, Nami ult. I don't know what that is. Nasus E all over the site. Incoming nukes. Nukes dropping down. Wall pushing over the rocket with rocket launcher flying over. Insane splash grenade. Laser beam from the sky. This guy can't see anything. He sees blue. This guy sees yellow. He sees something. He's flashed. This guy peeks. A kill. I can see. I can't see. This guy's casting a spell. More smokes. More rain. More lasers from the sky. Green. This guy's a dog. And then the site's taken. Like, what in the fuck is that game?
If you remember watching the Overwatch League, a lot of people who had not played a lot of the game had a hard time following what was happening. Often, there was just so much on the screen and it was hard to track what was going on. Essentially, it was just a lot of visual clutter. This isn't much to do with the complexity of the game, because you can still appreciate games like League and Dota even though you may not understand what is actually going on. But when it comes to Valorant, due to the addition of certain agents, visual clutter has become a key talking point. Even the new addition Waylay doesn't really help with this. It's hard for the casual fan to keep up watching the esport when they don't know what is happening on their screen. Well, to be honest, I don't think there is a fix. The more agents that are added to the game, the more complex the game will become. Ultimately, Valorant will become less and less of a casual esport to watch. Is this a negative thing? Well, not necessarily. Valorant, from the start, has always been competitive focused. Metas themselves are constantly changing, and there will be times where it's less chaotic and more focused on gunplay, and then it'll be changed where the main focus is on post plants and stalling. So sadly, it's not possible to fix unless we revamp the whole game, and again, this isn't ultimately the biggest problem. Yes, Valorant is a competitive game first and foremost. There probably aren't many players who just play escalation, but we do need some sort of workshop. This would excel Valorant to another level. Valorant's spiritual predecessor Counter-Strike had a huge community from its workshop elements. In fact, one of Valorant's lead map designers, Volcano, created Cache as a community-based map that later got added as a competitive map into the game. Not only this, but other gamers such as Surf, B-Hop and KZ have their own whole communities. Look at a game such as Fortnite and what they managed to do with its creative mode. Fortnite and Valorant run on the same engine, so it's possible for Valorant to create a similar thing inside of the game. Not only would this improve the casual player's experience with goofy and fun game modes, but could also provide practice modes that would be key for more competitive players. So Riot, please add. Riot Games is often criticised for its squeezing of players' wallets, especially recently with the whole League chest debacle. What about Valorant though? I don't think Valorant skins are a scam, but we have seen a slow price increase in the skins that should cost less. Shrinkflation in skins, so to say. Less for more. The flex is the most obvious example of this. I personally don't think flexes should be in skin bundles, but strictly should be placed in battle passes. For example, the bear is a prime example of how a flex can be great in game. But again, it provides another way for Riot to give less for more in bundles, with less skins, and add flexes as cosmetic items within bundles. Valorant skins probably not get cheaper anytime soon, because sadly people will still buy them. But one thing Riot should certainly do is reduce the price of Radianite. It's far too expensive, and in my opinion, gun levels should not be locked behind a paywall at all. One side note is to do with this year's VCT bundles. Making the banners all the same was really a disappointment. Previously allowed for orgs to express their own creativity and their brand, the less popular teams could create a unique and interesting banner that would mean people would buy the banner even if they didn't support the team. Now, this is just not the case. People just buy the banner and bundle of the team they support, meaning, in my opinion, the sales will be even more lopsided towards popular teams. Please Riot, let there be more creative freedom and expression within the game. I don't want to beat a dead horse, and we will be getting a replay system, and it will be the most important update to Valorant, especially for me as a content creator. So Riot, please finish.